Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I'm filming something a little bit different than I normally film. Today I wanted to sit down and talk to you guys all about my favorite things from the month of March. Now, these items really range from a ton of different things. So I have some art, I have some house stuff. I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about the things that really brought me joy in the month of March, that made me feel a little bit more sane, or, you know, brought me some kind of comfort, brought me some kind of joy. I'm going to be talking about shows, I'm going to be talking about anime, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. So I'm going to get started with the things that were my favorites for the month. Now, the thing that I actually recently got, I got it, I don't know, a couple days ago, and I wish I would have gotten it a lot sooner, is actually a notebook planner, and it is by the company called Clever Fox. I actually spoke about this in my vlog, so I'm gonna go kind of in depth here, but more in depth on that vlog that's coming on Monday. This is a life planner. So what this actually plans, it's a 12-month planner, but it is undated, so you can kind of skip a month if you need to, whatever it may be. But what this planner actually covers is your plans for anywhere up to 20 years. So there is a portion of the book at the very front that kind of talks about your plans, like where you see yourself, your goals in a year, 5 years, 10 years, and then 20, and they can range from physical health, they can range from finances, they can range from relationships, spirituality, whatever it may be. And then at the beginning of the book, there's actually a portion where it asks you like awareness and self-discovery. So it goes over what your vision for the life you want is, what is your life purpose or your mission, something that you're passionate about or what brings you joy. And then it goes over your daily rituals, like things that you're grateful for, affirmations, and things that I need to remind myself. I spent a lot of time filling this out and really thinking about the things like my core values and what I truly love, and being selfish with like my time and things that I want to change. And then there's actually a portion for a vision board. So I do have my vision board. I'll actually just do a close-up of this for you guys, but this is really awesome. I actually used to have like a cork board. I still have it, but I'm not using this on here, that had all of these things on it. And to have it in one place, I think it's fantastic. And then, like I said, there is the part like what I want my life to be like in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I'm just going to do a flip through of this for close up for you guys. And there's a portion for 1 year goals as well. And then your 3-month goals and your mind map. This is just fantastic. So every single beginning of the year or beginning of the month, there is a 3-month goal portion and your mind map to how to achieve that. And then it goes into the monthly layout. So there are goals for each month. There's like a big calendar. There's this month's goals, like the goals that you really have planned, and then there's things you'll do to make this month great. I really enjoy that. And then at the end of that, there is a monthly review portion as well. So kind of how things went, which life areas are lacking. You can kind of rate how much, like 1 through 10, how you felt about personal development, health and fitness, business and career, you know, finances, that kind of thing. And what were your biggest wins, things you learned. It's so fantastic. And there are 3 different parts. So the first part of the book, there are like these cords that you can pull on that kind of like divvy up what's what. Then there's a week layout, and it has things that you learned, how you'll improve, but it also has like a habit, a to-do list, a personal tracker, that kind of stuff. And then like things that you want to achieve. And then at the very back, there is a portion for, it's like a bullet journal layout. And to have, you guys, I have like a really big IKEA desk. I have one of those desks that are actually just like the drawer sets that you can get. And then I put like a countertop to like table topper on top of that. So my desk is huge. And I could not tell you how many notebooks I have just floating around in there for different things. And to now have everything in this planner, I'm so happy. Like my heart could not be happier to have all of it. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'll list it down below if you guys are interested in it. It was $35, I believe, but it is hands down the best $35 I've spent in a long time. I cannot wait to get further into this. I cannot wait to see how my 3-month goals progress. I can't wait to see how the end of my month goals progress. I'm just really excited to have this. And once again, it is of phenomenal quality as well. It's very soft leather, and it's one of those books that when you use it, it actually lays flat, so you don't have to worry about it like standing up and being crazy when you're trying to actually like write in it as well. I love that they did a soft binding on it. But if you're looking for a planner, if you're really wanting to get serious about your goals, if you're wanting to get serious about your life and kind of where it's headed, I would definitely recommend that planner. Now, the next thing I have here is going to be a little bit harder to show on camera, but it is a blanket. I My best friend actually got me a weighted blanket. It is just this soft gray color, and it is a little bit smaller. It's not like a huge blanket. Weighted blankets don't tend to be very, very big, but they actually found this at like Ross or Marshall's. It is so soft, you guys. And what a weighted blanket is, if you are not familiar, it is a really great tool for anxiety. If you are like me, I like to have some kind of like comforting presence when I'm sleeping. So I like having a lot of pressure on my body when I'm sleeping. For some reason that really helps me, and this blanket is perfect for that. So it is not like super heavy. I mean, it's heavy enough that like lifting it is kind of hard, but I think it weighs like 40 pounds or something like that. But it's so nice to sleep with as well. If you are somebody who also really enjoys like that comforting like feeling of like pressure on you when you're sleeping, I would highly recommend, because if you're like me, I used to sleep with like 6 or 7 different blankets on top of me. Like, I'm not joking. I have, I think, 6 blankets on my bed now, including this one. And I used to sleep like that every single night, and I used to always get hot and like always wake up, and I was just really uncomfortable a lot of the time. It took like a very precise like temperature in my house, and it had to be like sub-zero temperature for me to be able to sleep. And now that I have this, I can sleep very comfortably. I can have like 1 or 2 blankets and not feel like I'm really suffocating when I sleep, and I truly enjoy that. So I would definitely recommend, if you are somebody who suffers from anxiety and you feel like something like this would be helpful, keep an eye out at like Ross or Marshall's. I know Target has them right now, but they're pretty expensive. I think they're like $100 or something there. So if you can find them discounted at those kinds of stores, I would get one. I think that they're worth trying, especially if you can get them from like a Target where they have like a good return policy, maybe just in case you don't really like it. I think that it's a good thing to try just to see if it works for you, because it's definitely helped me, and I think that it is an invaluable resource for a lot of people. The next thing I want to talk about is a home item. This is actually something that I saw online. I was looking for more pillows for my bed, and I saw this and I was just like, wow, that is so perfect and I need it. It is this pillow. It is from Pokemon, if you're not familiar, but it says, "A comfy bed, time to sleep." And it's very simple, and it is very me. Like, it is so me. This is what happens when you try to sleep in Pokemon. This is like the original Pokemon. This is a little thing that will like pop up. And I love this. I think that this is just the perfect, like, simple thing to throw on your bed. I am such a pillow hoe. I have so many pillows on my bed. I think I have 6. I have as many pillows as I have blankets, frankly. But I just really like having my sleep space. For me, is also kind of like my recreation space. Like, I have my computer in my room, and I like to have a separate space to maybe like read or relax before bed, and I wanted a cute like pillow. These pillows are such good quality as well. They're very like, I don't know, you can tell that they're just stitched really well. The quality is really well, that you can buy them lined or unlined, like with or without the insert basically, and they are cheaper. So if you have a pillow that maybe, if you bought like one of these pillows from Society6 and then decided later like, oh, I want to change up the pillowcase, you only have to buy the pillowcase. You don't have to buy the insert again. So I think that's really awesome. This is probably my favorite purchase of the month of March. Another thing that I actually want to talk about, you can see on the shelves behind me, I will try to do a close-up for you guys, but it is some new art that I got. I have been really trying to create a space for me in my room. I bought a new tapestry, I bought new art. I'll show you guys, like I said, I'll try to show you guys. And I just really wanted to create my own space. So the two that you can kind of see behind me, the one is Yurio Plasetsky, who is from Yuri on Ice, and the one right above that is actually Solus from Dragon Age, because yes, I'm a Solomancer. I love Solus. He is my favorite. And I really wanted to start kind of showing my geeky side. Like, I want to come home and be in a space that, you know, like, it is all my own, and I want to show like everything that I truly love and everything that I'm loving. And I wanted to just really, like, when I come home, see things and see the things that make me happy, like thinking about Dragon Age, thinking about Yuri on Ice, like I'm watching it again as well. Like, that makes me happy. So to have art of that on my wall, I wanted to really focus on that for my space. And I think that's incredibly important. If you have a space that you're able to kind of decorate and make your own, I would recommend it. I think it's either Redbubble or Society6 has posters now, and they're pretty inexpensive, and they tend to both have sales going on, so you can find some really great stuff. And it's nice because you are supporting artists as well. I think that it's a good thing to do. I think that it's like, we should be supporting artists. We should be buying these things from our artists. And I don't know, I'm just so in love. The next thing I have here, you guys have actually seen me wear pretty much every single video for the last like month, and that would be my Fitbit. I did actually get the brand new like Fitbit, I don't remember, I think it's Versa is what this one is called. But the reason why I love this so much is it tracks my heart rate, so it tracks my overall health, but it also, you know, like when I'm working out, it tracks my workouts, it tracks how much I'm walking, like my steps, all that jazz. But the reason why I love it so incredibly much is it actually has like a gentle alarm on it. So what I do is I set an alarm for 4:20 in the morning to tell me that it's time to lay down and go to bed so that I can be asleep by 5. And then it has an alarm at 1 o'clock in the afternoon to wake me up, and then at 1:30 to get out of bed. And the reason why this is so invaluable to me is I hate being woken up by loud noises. So every time my alarm would go off, it would wake me up. Or even if I set it to like a more gentler alarm, I tend to sleep through those. So I needed something that kind of like vibrated to wake me up. But another really good thing going along the same vein with the Fitbit is it also tracks how much you're actually sleeping, and not just how much you're sleeping, but how much you're getting of REM, how much you're getting of light sleep, deep sleep, and what is average or benchmark for people of your age and like physical health. And I am so in love with this, you guys. Like being attached to this thing like 24/7 and being able to actually track how I'm feeling. It's also been really great for my mental health. There's like a breathe portion of this Fitbit that you can kind of like take a moment and it like vibrates to tell you to like take a breath and like let a breath out. I have not used that, but what I have actually used is the heart rate monitor on this. When I'm having, people with anxiety kind of understand this, when I'm having what I think is a panic attack or I start to feel like my heart is really beating, this will actually tell you whether or not your heart is going 100 miles an hour, or if you're just kind of experiencing maybe like an upset stomach. You know, we tend to check a lot like, what's my heart rate at? Like, am I okay? And this just tells me like your heart rate's at 70, your heart rate's like where it needs to be, like it's okay, like you can breathe. And it's so invaluable for that, like not just physically, but also mentally. I think for me, I'm so in love with this damn thing. Like, I don't know, it was very expensive, but I think that it is worth the money. And it was something that I didn't want to get until I really started working out regularly and was truly focusing on my health. Then I decided that once I did that for a couple of months, that I would end up buying one, and I did finally buy one, and I'm so glad that I did. Now the next thing I have here is made by my, oh my god, one of my very best friends. Her name is Victoria. She actually owns the little book Ling. I love her stuff, you guys. She finally came back out with candles. I'm so excited. She had one of Klaus from the Umbrella Academy and I died. Like I immediately ordered it. I had to have it. But one thing that she came out with last month are these little to be read lists. So these are actually like whiteboards. So you can write what you want to read for the month and then wipe it off and add to it as you go. And this is so cool. I believe these are like under $10. I'll list her new website down below. She just launched a website. She was on Etsy originally, so keep an eye out for her space online to see things that are changing. There are still candles and stuff available, but I'm so in love. If you guys have been keeping an eye on like my social medias, like my little icons and stuff have changed, my banner on YouTube has changed, my banner on Twitter has changed, and all of those were done by Victoria. I did actually commission her to do them because not only does Victoria have a lot of heart and soul, and she's just such a beautiful person, like inside and out, truly, you guys. I have not met anyone who is as sweet and sassy and just, you get like an overall warm vibe from her, but she's also phenomenally talented, and I love all of her stuff. I have a ton of her stuff like on my shelves. I have like all of her bookmarks. I have a lot of her prints. Like I have a ton of her candles. I have fallen in love with the things that she creates, and this was something that I had to get. So the second it was available, I did purchase it. There are 2 different designs, and I believe they come in 2 different formats in the sense of some have magnets, some do not. I actually got the magnet ones, but ended up taking the magnets off to better suit like my needs. But it's kind of cool because it's kind of like laminated. So if I wanted to add magnets again later, I could. But I just love this. I'm so fucking in love with this thing. I think she did a phenomenal job and continues to make wonderful things. So like I said, I'll list her website down below. You guys should definitely check it out. All right, the next 2 things that the next couple of things that I want to talk about, I don't actually have physically because they are going to be of the television and video game variety. So I have started playing Stardew Valley with my roommate. I have fallen in love with it. It is a game that I want to buy a Switch just to be able to lay in bed and play this game. Like that's all I want. My roommate obviously has a Switch and I don't think he'd mind if I took it, but I'm one of those people that like wants like my own stuff for some reason. But I've been loving this game. If you're not familiar with what Stardew Valley is, it is just a simple farming game. You are helping to rebuild like a community essentially, but like I said, it's very, very simple. I'm so in love with it though. I think that it is it's a game you can really play to kind of just like clear your mind, and I really, really appreciate that. I've just been loving it. It has like really calming music. Like the things that you have to do, like the tasks are not super like crazy and like in your face. It's just something you can do like after work or after a stressful day to just kind of like unwind. So if by chance you haven't played it, I would recommend it. And the last thing that I want to talk about is actually the anime that I've been watching that I have fallen in love with, and that would be Real Life. Real Life is about a man who is 27 and he's a bit of a NEET, which is somebody who doesn't really like want to go out into the world or like get a job and do things like that. And he is approached by a man who says, I am going to give you this pill and all you have to do is relive high school. It will make you young again and you have to relive high school, just 1 year of high school. And then after that, we'll pay all of your living expenses while you're doing this. And then after that, maybe we'll have a job for you. So I'm a few episodes into this, but I'm dying. So there's a little bit of inappropriate humor because obviously he's an older man hanging out with a bunch of high school kids, including girls. But if you can kind of get past that, like Japanese culture and our culture is very, very different. But if you can get past those kinds of things, I think that you'll really enjoy this anime. It is funny. It is kind of self-deprecating, but it is also, there's a little bit of like heavier stuff in there as well. But overall, I really love it. I think it's a very well-loved anime, just not one that I have necessarily watched, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's one of those animes that I can just like sit back and actually spend an afternoon watching, which is not something that I do very often. I often feel like watching TV is a waste of my time, so I'm glad to have an anime that I can actually do that with. All right, guys, so that is it. That is all my favorites for the month of March. I'm sure I could have thought of other ones, but honestly, I want to talk about the ones that like immediately come to mind because those are obviously the ones that I truly, truly love. Those are just not even my favorites for March, but my favorites for like the last like 2 or 3 months. Those are just things that I have been loving. If you guys have any recommendations for things that maybe like shows or video games or like a book or something that you've truly been loving, leave it down in the comments so I can check it out as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. But I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!